Emmett Hawkins,
explaining how weathering and erosion work together to wear down and carry away rocks at Earth's surface.
There are two types of weathering, mechanical weathering and chemical weathering. Chemical weathering is done by chemicals like water. Mechanical weathering is weathering done by something physically hitting it like a sandstorm.
Mechanical weathering includes freezing, release of pressure, actions of animals, plant growth, and abrasion.
Erosion, the removal of rock particles by wind, water, ice, or gravity, and weathering both work together to wear down and carry away rocks at Earth's surface. What determines the rate that weathering occurs is the type of rocks and the climate. Rocks that are permeable are easier to weather because they are full of small air spaces for water to seep through it. Climates at higher temperatures have rocks that weather faster than at lower temperatures. Also, wet climates help rocks weather faster than dry climates like the desert. What helps the Earth change its surface is gravity and deposition. Gravity is the force that moves rock and other materials downhill. Deposition is where the agents of erosion deposit or lay down sediment.
It looks like James forgot about deposition.
Gravity causes mass movement that moves sediment downhill. Types of mass movement include landslides, mud flows, slump, and creep.
Water causes erosion. An example is runoff, water that moves over Earth's surface. Runoff forms tiny grooves in soil as it travels called rills, and then the rills join together to form bigger rills called gullies. The gullies then join together to make an even larger channel called streams. A tributary is a stream or river that flows into a larger stream or river. Tributaries give water to streams, making it a bigger stream or river. Through erosion, a river creates valleys, waterfalls, floodplains, meanders, and oxbow lakes.
Groundwater is a term geologists use for underground water. A stalactite is a deposit that is tight to the ceiling, and a stalagmite is a deposit that might trip you on the floor. Deposition also creates landforms like alluvial fans and deltas. It may also add soil to a river's floodplain. Energy is the ability to do work or cause change. Types of energy are potential energy and kinetic energy. Potential energy can change to kinetic energy as gravity pulls water down a slope. Sediment washes or falls into a river because of mass movement and runoff. The amount of sediment that a river carries is its loads. A river's slope, volume of flow, and the shape of its stream bed all affect how fast the river flows and how much sediment it can erode.
Glaciers are large masses of ice that move slowly over land. There are two types, continental and valley glaciers. Continental glaciers are glaciers that move over land. Valley glaciers are long, narrow glaciers that form when snow and ice build up in a mountain valley. When large parts of Earth's surface is covered in continental glaciers, it's called an ice age, as you see here. Glaciers only form in areas where snow falls and melts. The processes where glaciers erode the land are plucking and abrasion. Plucking is where moving glaciers picks up rocks. When glaciers melt, they deposit the sediment it eroded from the land, creating various landforms. The mixture of sediments that they deposit directly on the surface is called till.
A till deposited at the edges of a glacier forms a ridge called moraine. Retreating glaciers also create features called kettle. Kettle is a small depression that forms when a chunk of ice is left at a glacier till. Erosion also happens with waves. The water wears away the rock. An example is a headland. A headland is a part of the shore that sticks out into the ocean. The waves shape the coast when they deposit sediment, forming coastal features like beaches, spits, and barrier beaches.
Beaches are areas of wave-washed sediment along a coast, and spits are beaches that projects out into the water. Sediment moves down the current as waves repeatedly hit the beach in a process called longshore drift.
Wind also causes erosion. It does this by deflation and abrasion. Deflation is the process by which wind removes surface materials. When wind causes deflation and abrasion, it can create sand dunes, which are a deposit of wind-blown sand.
It can also cause loess deposits. Loess deposits is the fine wind deposit sediment that is deposited in layers far from the source. As you can see here, erosion can be shown in several ways by wind, earth-changing surface, water, glaciers, and beaches.
So this is Emmett
And Larry,
and our weathering
and erosion project.
signing off.
Whoosh!